Okay, so now we're back to this right now, and we're going to continue on with this. And what we are looking at right now is to make these fit the way they're supposed to. So anyway, I've got this right now, and this is what it should look like when you're done. 2 feet going from the exterior to the inside dimension here. That's just how it's got to be. I know it's a little fussy. You guys can get it done. And you may have to move these witness lines around, which is clicking here, and those witness lines are here. You can actually go from these different locations, you know, these different things here. You may have to zoom in, but for right now, that's what it should be. Now, once you got that one, I'm going to put a dimension right to here just to prove the concept. And if you can't get it to pick where you want it to, zoom in a little bit, and if you still can't get it, hit your tab key. In this case, I've got it, and I'm going to go down to here. Let's see if I can grab this one on the inside, and I did. And this should be 9 feet, and it is. And it should go ahead and connect to that one right there. So I've got that. So I've got the 2 foot and the other. Now, here's a cool little trick. I could draw another one in here. I could mirror this one. If I mirror it, I know it's going to be correct. So I'm just going to do a couple things here. First, I'm going to grab this tag. I'm going to move it over a little bit, just so it's a little more visible like that. And then I'm going to grab this door, and once it's highlighted, I'm going to mirror it. Mirroring is as easy as going to here and saying mirror pick axis. I'm going to say, okay, and here's a little preview as far as how this works. And it shows you how to go ahead and mirror something across a midpoint. And that's what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to mirror using an axis. And my axis is going to be the midpoint of this wall here. So I drag it up till I see somewhere around here where this would be. Let's see if I can find this. All right, it's not letting me do that. So it's not letting me pick an axis. So let me see here. Let me try. Draw an axis. I'm going to draw an axis. That's what I'll do instead. So I go here, there, and it finds this midpoint. I'll have to draw the axis because it couldn't find the other one. So I click here, I'm drawing an axis, I pull it right down to here and watch what happens. Boom, and it puts this in place. Now let's see if my dimensions line up the way they should. They should, and again, I will tell you this right now, it can be a little bit difficult to get these where they're supposed to be, but you know what, I think you can do it. And so then I'm going to go from here over to here, and the mirroring is a huge benefit here. If you don't do it that way, you can just draw it, but the way I showed you is actually easier. And then the last little item is going to be here. So I'm going to grab to here and over to here, and boom. Now again, please notice I am going to the inside of this track right there. Now, once I've got that done, let me take a look at it, see how I'm progressing. So back over to here, let's see what we got here. Well, this is starting to take shape here. So now what I've got here is my building with these different items in it. I've got my doors in place, and the tracks actually run right along there. So we're good to go, looking great. And so now at this point, the next thing I want to do is go back to level 1. And in level 1, I've got actually another door over here. Actually, is it a door or window? Number 1, it's a slider with trim. It's a door, number 1. So window number 1 needs to go along the bottom here. So I go to my windows now, and this is going to be, yes, it's going to be there. It's going to be a double hung with trim. Actually, no, this one's going to be right here, number 1, a slider with trim 60 by 36. So I go to find that, slider with trim 60 by 36, which is right here. I'm going to take it, and what I'm going to do right here is it's trying to find a halfway point, and I think that's pretty good. I don't think it's going to be perfect, so I'm going to click it there. I'm going to have to dink around with it to get it to where it should be there. But anyway, let's go ahead and put it there, and then when I click here, let's see what I've got left. I want it to be, actually I want to get a dimension from the outside there, and it should be 12'6" on each side, so I'm just going to go from this point and go 12.5. That gives me 12.5 feet like that. And I'm just going to go ahead and place that, and it's going to go ahead and place it right there. And I'm going, and once I've got that, we are good to go. I'm going to take it and pull it down here, and do that. And then over here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make another one here, and I'm going to go from here to here, and this should give me the proper size here if I get it right, which I think I can, down to here, and that's 5 feet, so we're looking good. And then I want to put a dimension over on this side. So that's going over from, yes, hit my tab key till I find it. There we go. Over to the exterior here. So I go to here and I click there, and we are good to go there. 12'6", 5, and 12'6". And that is how we put those in there. And then I've got this. So this is what we got. This is what the look is. Okay, so we're doing well. So far, so good. Last thing I've got here is something that is, I just kind of threw it in here, but you can put in electrical outlets. Just want to show you how you do this. So you go to Systems, and on Systems right here, you've actually got these devices and electrical fixture. And yeah, that's the one I want right there. Duplex receptacle. I think that's the one. And actually, no, outlet. Let's see here. We'll just go ahead and use the duplex single, and we're just going to go ahead and put them in here. And you'll notice that as we do this here, I can go ahead and place these. And I didn't put dimensions on these. I just wanted you to, get the feel for putting these in. And I'm just going to go ahead and place them around the perimeter here, and so that they are available as we might want them to be. So go ahead and place that there, and we've got those in place. When I go back to my 3D view again, then I see that those are in place there. So I then have those populating the drawing. So I got those. So that is pretty much the first floor, except for the actual floor itself. And so the floor would be here, floor architectural, and that is just a generic 12-inch floor. And I'm going to use a rectangle. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a rectangle from here over to here. And when I do that, I do this purple boundary type thing, and that's going to automatically put a floor beneath my first floor here. So I did that. Now it's looking here. Let's see how we did here. And we are looking quite good. Very presentable now. We now have a floor plan here. And before I leave this right now, I'm going to do one other thing here. I need to put underneath here actually an additional item here, and that is, let's see, a floor slab edge right here. I'm going to put a slab edge on here, and this is a thickened edge, 24 by 12 inches. I'm just going to go around the perimeter here, and you'll notice when I do that, it gives me kind of like this tooth that bites in. And I'm going to rotate it around here, and you can do this in a 3D view as I'm doing it here. And when you do this, it gives you a thickened slab edge that kind of bites the earth a little bit better. And once I've got that, let's take a look at how it looks underneath there. So you got that, and that's the kind of view you're going to get when you do that. So that's the thing you would do to make that work. So once we have it here, that's pretty much a go. We got the first floor plan done, and that's looking pretty good. Now, onward and upward. We're now going to move over here to the second floor. Second floor is where we put in the same kind of a thing. We're going to put, now the second floor actually here, it's actually a literal floor, and there's a couple different things we're going to do here. The first thing we're going to do is we can go to level 2 here, and on level 2 we already have our walls are already going all the way up here. We can see those right here. So I can do a couple things here right now. One of the things I want to do is I want to put a roof on. So I'm going to go to my roof. I'm going to say roof by footprint. And I'm going to say the overhang is going to be 1'3", and that's all up here. And I'm going to define a slope for these. So the slope's going to be on the two sides, and the other side's going to be open. So I'm going to start by using pick walls. I'm going to grab this side here, and I'm going to grab this side here. So I've got those. And then I'm going to say I don't want to define a slope, and go here, and go here. So it's got my overhang all the way around. And 912 is what my pitch is. Let's see how it comes out if I do that. Going to the green check mark. Would I like to attach the highlighted walls to the roof? I'm going to say yes right now. And let's see what we got here. When I take a look at it, okay, looking pretty respectable. We've got a pretty decent roof, and it extended those right up to the top, so we don't have to deal with that again. Your roof, actually, we had to change the type of the roof. The roof, when we click on it, we can change to a different roof. Right now, it's basic roof generic, and we want to change that actually to wood rafter 8-inch asphalt shingle. We click there, and that it looks like that there. So now we're looking really good here. It's looking really quite respectable. And again, remember this is a garage, so we're not going to go too crazy. So also on this second floor right here, we've got this right here, and now I'm going to put in a wood floor. Put a wood floor here on the second floor. So go to floor, architectural, and I want to use the wood floor here, which is wood joist with a wood finish. And I'm going to go the inside of the inside here. Going to make a rectangle. Going to go from right up here. This just kind of eliminates some visualization troubles when I do it that way. So I'm going inside to inside, hit my green check mark, and it looks like that, which is how it should look. And then let's see here. Then the last thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in an interior wall up here at the top here. So we're looking good. So I'm going to put in a wall here. I'm going to go wall architectural, and I'm going to change it to a, let's see, I think I've got an interior wall here. Let's see here, interior, I think I got an interior garage wall I made. Let me find it. Let's see here, garage wall, generic, garage interior, that's it, 5-inch partition. Now over here, where this goes here, I'm going to put it just somewhere up here. I'm going to click here. You can go straight across like that. And that looks pretty good. Let me see my distances there. So that's like 6 foot and some change. What I want that to be, I actually want that to be, I didn't put a dimension on here, but let's just do this. Let's just make this nice round numbers. We'll make this 6 foot to the inside there. So instead of that being 7'5", it'll be 6 feet like that. Let's see, actually, no, let's do it this way. That pushes it a little too close to the edge. So what we'll do instead of that is we'll move the witness line like that, and we'll make that 6 feet like that. So let's go back to here and make that 6 feet going to there, and go back to here. So how are we doing there? So that's 6 feet from here over to there. Yeah, that looks about right. So we'll go ahead and leave that at 6 feet going to the outside there. That's good. And then once we have that, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mirror that. So I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to pick my axis again. So I'm going to go draw mirror axis. So I'm going to go ahead and draw an axis here. I got to find the center point. So where's the center? And there's a few centers here. I'm going to go ahead and pick this one. I think that one should be right if I go along this way, and that's not going the way I want it to. So let me try that again. So I'm going to go ahead and try that one more time, making my mirror and draw the axis. I'm going to pick a point on the outside here, and I'm going to go ahead and swing it on here, see if that's going to work. Didn't like it. No, didn't work that way. One more time. Grab this. Okay, and pick my axis, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go like this, make it 180, boom, click like that, and there it is. Okay, so it looks like that. Looks like I picked a bad axis, so I can just move this. Okay, it didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to, but we'll go here and we'll just make this 6 feet, and 6 feet goes to there, and that moves it over to there. So 6 feet on both sides, and let's see here, that should be right. 6 feet to the inside there, and 6 feet to the inside there. Let's see here, not quite right. Is it 6 feet going from here to there? Okay, and let's see how this works. We'll go to here. Make sure we're doing well here. That's 12 feet. Good. All right, that's all good. And then the last thing is 6 feet going to the other outside. Okay, I think I see where this went wrong. Okay, rather than jockey around with this right now, let's see here. This should be over here. That should be 6 feet going to there. So I'm going to change that to 6 feet. And that should be 6 feet there. So if I go here, that should be 6 feet there. And I'll go ahead and save that. And that's good there. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. And that should also be set. And that, okay, so this should also be 6 feet going to here. And I'll make that 6 feet also. All right, and there we go. And then that actually gives us, when we do that, yes, then we got 12 feet. So then we're good to go there. And yes, now we can go ahead and kind of like get this like that. And then the last one goes in between these. I go to here, and that's my 12-foot dimension. And we are good to go. So yes, that is how it goes. So a little bit of dinking around there. And so anyway, 6 feet from the outside wall to the interior wall to get that working right there, and then that's even. So there we go. Now the last thing is there has to be a window, which is window number 2, which is included in the window schedule here. And the window schedule, have this here. Window schedule is number 2, and that's double hung with trim, 36 by 48. So go to the window and double hung with trim, 36 by 48, which is here. I'm going to go ahead and take this, and you'll notice it's going to try to make it to center it, which it's doing beautifully right now. I click there, and let's take a look at how it came out. And we're done there. Boom, looks good. Now, don't be troubled about those walls, because there's a trick to fixing those. Those walls are protruding. We don't want them to. So we'll select one of the walls, and we'll use this tool, attach to base. So we'll attach this or attach top actually, attach top. So I'll grab this and I'll say attach top or base, and I'll go to this, and it does that. Now once I've done that, we are looking good, looking very good. And if I do a section box here, I can then see how this looks going like this. So I'll go to here, and I can then take it and kind of push this back a little bit and see, whoop, wrong one, I want that. And I want the tool actually that looks like this. And I'm going to grab this here, and I'm going to push it back like that. When I push it back, it should look like this, which gives you kind of a nice section view. So that's looking pretty darn good, and that's how we want to do that. Last thing that I'm going to want to put in here is actually going to be an element here. I'm going to drop a component in, and the component here is going to be these attic stairs. And the attic stairs are these right here, 22 by 47 ceiling, 7 foot by 2. And it's also located down here under families, under generic, just if you need to find it down here. It's also here, FACRO LMS, and 22 by 47 is the one I'm using right here. So anyway, back to here to component, place a component. I'm going to go ahead and take this and drop this in, and I'm going to go ahead and use this first one. And let's see, let me put this in here. Let's see here. All right, and okay, yeah, there we go. So it shows up here. I'm going to go ahead and take it, and I'm going to drop it there. And then when I do that, it shows me this, and I'm going to highlight it as best I can. Let's see if I can't select it here. It doesn't want me to do that, so I got to select it on the first floor. It's a little bit different, but I got to go to the first floor, and I got to flip it there just because it kind of like protrudes down to here. It's going to take this, and I'm going to rotate it like that, just so that it kind of like looks a little bit better. And so I'd actually go ahead and be able to do that. So once I do that, it looks like this, and then I have those in place right there, and then I could go back over here to my 3D view, and I can take a look at this, and you can see that my steps are going right up there, and that is how we go ahead and make that look. All right, so you got that, they're open, and all this information is there for you already. So that's essentially the basics right there of how to do all that. So that's it right there. So quite a bit we learned there. We learned quite a bit there. And then back to here and back to here. And you'd want to put your dimensions on the outside here. And also make sure you have your tags in place. So we're looking good. The last thing, let's take a look at how our elevations came out, because they should have come out nicely. And if I go over here and take a look at my elevations, I've got over here, east should have automatically come in correctly. And it looks like we got a little bit of messing around going on here. So what we'll do is, if they're doing this, you can click on one of these bubbles, and then it gives you a circle here, and you can move them over, just to make them look a little neater. Okay, that's the look that you're actually looking for right there, and to look like that. Now, to see these all at once, you got north, you got south, and you got west. And then down here on our sheets, this is where we actually are going to be determining how these are going to look on our sheets. So down towards the bottom here, let me close that. And under our sheets here, you're going to see I got a cover sheet, and I don't have anything there yet, but we can figure that out later. First floor plan here, and nothing's there yet, so I've got to put that in. Second floor, and so forth. So these are not there yet. So I'm going to go ahead and I have to drag these views onto there. So if I go to the first floor plan right here, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drag my floor plan over into here. So I take it, and it looks something like this, and I can go ahead and drop this onto the sheet like this, and boom, I drop it, and that actually looks like this right here. So a couple things here. Now that's actually, looks like this changed around a little bit, but that's okay, we can fix it. So if this is actually not looking quite the way you want it to, you can do a couple things. First of all, back to level 1, I don't need to see these right here. These are my elevation markers. So to hide those, I right click on them, hide and view this whole category. So I'll hide that category, and those are no longer there. The next thing, I'm going to take a look at my my crop region. I'm going to go here, I'm going to change my crop region so it's closer into here, so it's more visible, and I'm going to go ahead and pull this out to here so it's visible. And once I have that, let me see if that doesn't serve this a little bit better, and make sure that we're looking good. So I'm going through my sheets here. So the first one, the first floor should be 3/8 of an inch equals a foot, which is where it's at right now. And let me take a look at my sheets again, see how we're doing here. So on the first floor plan, let's see how we're doing there. Okay, so that's there. And first of all, this right here can be moved up. I'm just going to grab it and pull it up a little bit. And I may need to think around this a little bit. This view, actually, I'm going to pull it down. It's going to pull this down so it fits in my drawing a little bit better. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to move this around a little bit with a little more elegance. I'm going to go ahead and click on the edge of this view, and when I do that, I can actually pull this item up here, and I can pull this over to the side a little bit, so I can customize this. So that's clicking on the edge. When you click on the edge of the viewport, you can actually take these, you got to zoom in a little bit to get this circle, and grab the circle and kind of pull it so it looks a little bit more better spaced. And then I can take this and move this whole thing down, and then if I need to move that, I can double click inside here. Actually, not there. You just click on this and drag this now, and I can click on that and drag it and put it in place. And so once I do that, it's got this, and then this text right here just needs to move down. And so I can take this and use my arrow keys like that to move that around. So right now we've got pretty much what we need. I might need to turn off 1 or 2 dimensions. Let's see here. Looks like I've got a couple extra dimensions there, so that's okay. I got 24, and looks like I got a couple things here. And I'm going to go ahead, and if I want to do a little work here, like I want to turn off the crop region, I'm going to double click inside here, and this is where I can turn off the crop region here. Turns that off there. Gives me a little bit more panache there. So I'm going to turn that off, and we'll go ahead and go here. And then that is a good start to how that would look right there. So I place that on here, and then let's go over to back over to here, because there's one dimension that we don't need here. It's the bottom here. So I'm just go ahead and delete this one because we don't need that. Okay, everything else is looking pretty good. I did not get this, however, this right here. I got this right here, and I should get the string of dimensions and move all these over, and just kind of like to place them. And let's see here. Oop, I'm over time right now. I'm going to have to make another video here. So let me go ahead and do that. And I think I may have to back up a little bit here, but let me go ahead and do what I can. And I may have to overlap this. So I'm going over here. I'll finish this, and then I'll start another video here. There we go. So I'm going to save this.